I am not reacting, I'm not playing a game, I'm not reviewing a toy. I am doing something I have not done in months. I am reviewing the entire show of Grizzly Tales for Gruesome Kids. I have always wanted to review a show. I've always seen clips of it, full episodes on YouTube. I remember watching the show when I was a kid. I want to fully review a show, and who knows, maybe make a couple videos on it. Not just a review. I've always been excited to review the show. This isn't like Animorphs where I watched it off JonTron. This was from my childhood. So this has a personal love with me. So I might be a little biased to the show, but please ignore that. Well, I hope you're ready for some gruesome tales. I did tell you I was biased. Season 1, Episode 1 is a 10 out of 10. Tristram and Candy are such lovable protagonists. They're spoiled, they're selfish, they're rude. They abuse the nanny, even throwing her out the fucking window, which is hilarious. They, beat the shit out of the spider, the python and the spider. Actually, in the book, they actually attack the alligator in self-defense, but they cut that, which kind of sucks because the alligator just eats them. I love that the kids get eaten alive and then turn into eggs, because they redeem themselves. When I watched other reviews, I only mentioned the death, but for me, I'm a sucker for a happy ending. I love that the kids get redeemed. So, because the kids get redeemed, and because of the episode being so peak, and the monsters were cool and all, Tristram and Candy's story, The New Nanny, because that's what the episode's called, The New Nanny, you get a 10 out of 10. The Spaghetti Man. I loved the Spaghetti Man for how creepy he was. In the book, he's a human, but in the episode, he's a shadow demon, able to hide in darkness, change his form. When he laughs, you hear the crackle of his teeth. He also can grab stuff, even though he's a shadow. Like right here, he grabbed a little boy's mouth. He grabbed Timmy's mouth. Timmy, I don't want to say it, but he was really adorable. I won't eat it. And I'm not having breakfast. This is a cow pat. He is really adorable. My only complaint with the episode is the end of the episode ends with them eating lasagna, and the kids go to his factory and get turned into Italian food. Well, Italian bread food. And he gets turned to lasagna. And the Spaghetti Man says to Timmy, I'll eat you. I'm having you for dinner. But when the mom eats lasagna, and it's implied that she ate her son, they're eating their son. So somebody's lying about eating somebody. I believe they're eating their son, but also they're in the UK, and that's in Italy. So make your own conclusions. Oh yeah, by the way, the episode 10 out of 10. Told you I was biased, but I don't care. Episode 3, My Ghost Story. Honestly, you're probably not going to expect it since all the praise I've gave the show, but I didn't like it. It was boring, really slow, really just kind of awkwardly placed, and just boring, in my opinion. It was fun, especially how we knew the main character of the show, the guy who always walks to a theater, finds out his grandmother was a ghost. But genuinely, it was just boring. They recycled animation a lot. I'm fine with recycling animation, but it's literally just the story twice with a black and white filter. It was a good episode. I give it a 4 out of 10. Uncle Grizzly's part was cool. The anamorphin effect of him turning into a little boy. And when he became a little boy, he said it's my story. And the character looks like him. So I believe this is his origin and why he's at the Screen Theatre. But besides that, it was a pretty boring episode. Death by Chocolate. The fucking goat of episodes. It is literally, I've checked most Grizzly Tales fan accounts, and it is one of the most popular. People love it. If I could give it a 100 out of 10, I would. But I'm just going to give it a 10 out of 10. First of all, Serena, she was hilarious. I loved how gluttonous she was, They really made her look fat, which was hilarious. They showed her absolute addiction to chocolate, with her stealing her going to skips and stuff, her eating ants and shit that were covered in chocolate. I also liked her, that she literally, when it said she wouldn't say no to a goose, she actually dressed up as a goose. But what I also like is that it also has deeper meaning. In a way, I think it shows how kids don't care about the meaning of fairy tales. Serena, in a way, doesn't really care about the meaning that was Jesus Christ died. All she cares about is chocolate. And to be honest, I can kind of relate with her. I mean, God forgive me, but all of our Easter fails, we don't even mention Jesus, which is sad. I also liked her becoming a fly, but that's the thing. The fly grew inside of her stomach, so did the fly kill her? Or did the fly burst out of her and eat all her flesh? Or did the fly physically become her? The mom, I mean, I also respect actually, the animation, just all of the excitement. I love that even as a fly, she still gave her that sass, hand movements. It was hilarious. To me, the episode is goated. It's one of the funniest, one of the greatest. And at the end of the day, Serena was a lovable protagonist because she was a lovable brute. And I think she got her just comeuppance. Well, bye-bye. The Wooden Hills. Loved it. I'm gonna give it, a 10 out of 10. I'm sorry, I love the episode. The main character was really cute when he ran up the stairs and was scared. And truthfully, I loved it because this is the first time I ever heard hell in a kid show saying it was a dragon straight from hell, which was terrifying for me. I also loved that the kid was terrified of monsters and was trying to survive and had all these fictional scenarios and even fought his imaginary monster, which was his cat, which kind of fucked up. By the end of the episode, he survives, he goes through hell and back, gets downstairs, and you know what the book is he wants? Dracula. I go through the exact same thing. The reason I feel so paranoid and scared at night is I love horror. Godzilla, Jurassic Park, hell, even Grizzly Tales. But I'm a pussy. I like watching horror when the lights are on, but when the lights are off, it's scary. So, for that, the episode's a 10 out of 10. It's so relatable. And I'm not even joking. Now, okay. A Tangled Web. Honestly, not a big fan. It has this kid who's Nigel, and the difference between this episode and other episodes is, the literal last episode, I said I can relate with this, but I can't relate with Nigel because he's a serial killer. And you could say, oh, that's serious. You're going too far with it. He tortures animals for fun. I'm sorry, but how is anyone meant to relate with that? And I think that's when the creators knew they didn't give a fuck about morals anymore. They just wanted entertainment, so they went more wacky. The mom was a total dummy mommy. And with Dad was funny because he says, I don't know where he gets it, while eating flies. I actually liked Nigel, how he told his mom and dad to just shut up when he walked away. I can relate with Nigel. Sometimes you just want your mom and dad to just shut the fuck up. But I'm not saying he wasn't in the wrong, he was. But Nigel, a dumb thing is, Nigel coughs out a spider and never opens his mouth again. If I cough out a spider, I'm getting the doctor to cut me open and rip every fucking spider out of me, even if it kills me. Second, so the episode's an 8 out of 10. Bye-bye. The Princess's Clothes. Honestly, an okay episode. I think it's a 7 out of 10. I liked Mrs. Shears and Felicity. What's her name? Yeah, her name was Felicity. They were two pretty cool characters. The dad... Felicity, the mom, I didn't like the mom. She was like, our daughter's a spoiled brat because she wants to pick her own clothes. I want to pick clothes for her. Girl, your daughter isn't a Barbie doll. She's a human being. And I've seen people like James and Reese Justify saying, oh, well, if you've raised your child, you want them to dress in the way you want. But when my mom said, oh, when you go to high school, you can wear whatever you want, she forced us to wear those school clothes. And honestly, I'm kind of glad because I like the school clothes. But you know what? When my thighs became too fat for regular school clothes, I never wore them again because my bottom part became really fat, so I had to wear custom pants for it. Uh, and like Felicity, I just think Lamom's a bitch. Just stop trying to control your daughter. She's not a Barbie doll. She's a human. Yeah, I didn't really like the episodes. The magic shares were cool though. Yeah, the episode was okay basically. Burger Skip. It's honestly good to have an episode that's just a 10 out of 10 again. I like it because it's the first and only episode to have a grown-up protagonist. What I like about him is he's not a child. He knows what he's doing is wrong. When he kills Paddock, the god of the forest, he knows what he's doing is wrong, because even his workers don't want to disturb this god. He does it himself. Also, the guy who was the one who was saying, the guy who was protecting Paddock was way better than the monster, way better than the Lorax could ever be. The main character, I like it because how dark it is. Like a happy burger starts choking him, and then Paddock drags him up to the sky and he dies. He loses everything in the episode because of his greed, and it's just a great story. I really like the episode. To me, it's a 10 out of 10. The Barber of Civil, absolute goat. Not Tristram. It was like Karip and Karapith. No, it was Tanya and Karapith. They were both goats, but in my opinion, Karif suffered more. In my opinion. Because he became a cannibal by accidentally eating one of the slugs that were, kids' tons. And he got his tongue cut off first. Tanya I can justify a little more, because Tanya they say, put your, basically they say, you have to do gym in your underwear, and she says, I don't want to do it. And now knowing how much schools have pedophile teachers, look, I'm justifying her. Maybe you can blame me, but honestly, I'm on her side. I know this was like in the early 2000s. This was like in the 90s when this was normal. But please, let's never do it again. That is just weird, and I am glad we don't do that. The barber, he was cool. It was funny how he said he was a jolly nice man when his skin was literally grey, saying he looked happy and had a shiny face when he looked grey and tired. But honestly, the episode is a 10 out of 10. I loved it. I like the Chipper Chumps episode. It was peak. I liked each member's personality, like Sam. Sam, was a girl, but she wanted to be treated strong. So she was always like, I'll be the strongest. She friends people who made fun of her. The leader kind of reminded me of the guy from In-Betweeners. Alice, she's just a cute little girl stereotype. I liked them all, but, honestly, out of all the villains, the farmer was the one who really pissed me off. Because he covered the main characters in shit, killed their dog, and then killed them. Actually, if you're wondering, Stinker does not die. Stinker actually lives. You just see his groin area bandaged. So I like to imagine his fucking cock got blown off. I like to imagine he shot him in the dick. Because let's be honest, if any man got their dick shot off, we all know they would went, oi! And then fall to the ground. And because of that, the episode's a 10 out of 10. But seriously, I loved it. It was hilarious. The extreme British humour and all of it was just peak. The episode was peak. The exam. The history exam, honestly, it's a little boring. It's like a haunted episode. And maybe I'm just not a big fan of ghost episodes, because they have the same, and this is for the entire show, they have the same trope. You meet a character, you think they're alive, and at the end of the episode, they're a ghost. Actually, this one's honest, where she admits she's a ghost, she just doesn't believe her. And the fate at the end of the episode for Elizabeth McGregor, which I love that last name, awesome, is that she is zero place. It's humiliating, but compared to everyone else who dies, yeah, I'd rather be called an idiot than be dead, so ugh, I want each part of these to be a minute, so I'm trying to think, well, how do... I mean, the ghost effect was cool, you know, the flying was cool, the way she made fun of the teacher was funny. I loved Grizzly's just yelling. I love how he just yelled out of a microphone with full force. You know what? No, it's not a 4 out of 10, it's a 5 out of 10. Pretty okay episode. Sweets. I loved it. Honestly, 10 out of 10 story. Goated. I loved Thomas. He was such a good protagonist. He, you know, it's just good to see a cheeky kid again. And the reason I love him is, you know, I've loved Calvin and Hobbes, Alvin and Chickmunks. I just think mischievous young men like the kid from Home Alone can be quite entertaining as main characters. I also love the Fate because it literally is, I have no mouth and I must scream. He's trapped in a body where he's stuck eternally. That fate is actually used a lot on the show. I even love ranking every single one on which is the worst and which is the best. I mean, they all suck, but you know, which is the least bad. But the actual episode, goated. I loved how he got waxed. He thought they were bodies. I loved the pick your poison, not pick your sweaty. I also like how when he sees his mom, the baby sister waves at him, knowing it's him, but the mom is confused, showing that the baby sister knows it's him, but the mom doesn't. The episode was a 10 out of 10. Dr. Money Bunnist. Honestly, a pretty okay episode. I give it a 6 out of 10. Anjali Ann Lee, she was funny. Money Bunnist was a cool one. This does have a problem, they reuse the film a lot, but I do like how the film was Spanish, where in the other time when he was a dentist, when he was a hairdresser, he was British, so that's pretty cool. The illnesses were creative. The doctors were funny. The stop motion was cool, especially with that wink of the camera when Smokeshanks came out of Grizzly's brain. That was really cool. All around, I give the episode a 6. It was okay. Didn't get finale vibes, but that's fine. Okay, season 1, it was a 10 out of 10. Everything was goated. First of all, one thing I never mentioned, I think I didn't mention, is I love how diverse the show was. It had multi-religions, multi-group, it had disabilities, it had different races. It was just so cool. We saw Indian, Spanish, Japanese, I believe, British, Scottish, Welsh, well, that's in another season, and a lot of other ones. And on disabilities, we saw a guy in a wheelchair, that was pretty cool. The show was good. I really loved the horror. This show genuinely terrified me as a kid. Now, I look at it and laugh. But even then, I still know that the show was scary. Like, genuinely, it won't scare you. But if you want something that will scare your kid, you should give it a watch. This series was... Season 1 was a 10 out of 10. It was perfect. I could praise it all day, but I want to watch Season 2. What?